If you're into horror movies that make you think, that have a deeper meaning, that give us a glimpse of society, check this movie out. What's up, everyone? This is Jeff Watson, and thank you for joining me again on Movies to Be Murdered By. This is episode number 2. Really excited about this one. We've got a lot of great feedback and just support, and I'm so happy that we were able to get that. So thank you all for tuning in and listening to the first episode, and hopefully this one will be another one that you enjoy. We do have quite a few special guests coming up on the next couple episodes, so I'm really excited about that. We'll introduce that on Twitter. So really excited about our next couple episodes, and I will say that the next 2 episodes feature special guests, and then the 5th episode will cover one of my favorite horror movies, Candyman. And this comes because we're getting a new Candyman movie in June. So pumped up about that. And obviously, I'm a huge fan of Tony Todd. He's an idol, he's an inspiration, and hopefully one day I will be able to get him on this podcast. So hashtag get Tony Pod. I'm gonna make sure that gets trending one day. But really excited about that and the future of this podcast and what we can do. So really looking forward to the future. So today we're going to talk about Would You Rather. No, not the game. Although I'm pretty sure that most of us have played it before when we were kids. This film was made in 2012. And honestly, the way that I found this film was just by random chance. I was watching movies on Netflix, as I often do, and was looking for something different, was looking for something that was unique and a different kind of horror movie. I think I had just finished watching 13 Sins and just wanted something new, and saw this. The poster for the film really caught me. It was the poster where you have the eyeball and you have the razor blade, and I was like, "Yep, that's what I want to watch." Um, so really excited to break this film down because I don't think a lot of people have actually heard of it or seen it, and that's a shame because it's really good. Um, so let's get into it. Like I said, this film was released in 2012, and it was directed by David Guy Levy, and has one actor that is synonymous, I think, with horror, and that's Jeffrey Combs. But it also has Brittany Snow and John Hurd. If you don't know John Hurd, he was the dad in Home Alone. Rest in peace to John Hurd. Uh, but yeah, this was a really good film. I would have with Iris, who's played by Brittany Snow, the transplant, and you see her trying to get a job in the beginning, and just trying to make things work. At this point, she's his sole provider. She's the breadwinner in the home. She is all the bills, and that's difficult. with her and her brother, and then she goes to a doctor, and the doctor is telling her about this event, um, and we're introduced to Shep Lambrick, sorry, who's played by Jeffrey Combs. And Shep is the first time we see him, he's just sitting on a couch and he's eating these pistachios or something, I don't know. And he's just sitting back, just popping those things, and he's very crass and um, kind of like do that, you know, please RSVP by tonight. And it's just his vibe is just so off-putting to me. And once she leaves, you start to figure out that this dinner is not just people getting together, eating some steaks and potatoes and drinking, alcoholic beverages. This is going to be something else. And boy, is it. It takes the classic game of Would You Rather and it flips it on its ear. It takes real life situations. It takes a rich family that has the power to change basically anything. They have the power and the resources to change anyone's life. And instead of doing that, just out of the kindness of their heart, they say, well, we're going to make these people play a game to show us how worthy they are to get the money or the resources that we have to offer. And while this movie isn't your slasher film, it's a pure psychological horror thriller. That's what this movie is. But for some reason, for me, this movie just really stuck with me. I've watched it. I can't even keep track of how many times I watched it. But I think I've probably watched it over 10 times. And with this film, it takes something that could truly happen in our lives, and it asks you the question, what would you do? How far would you go to take care of a loved one, to improve your financial situation, to make sure that if a loved one was ill, that they'd be taken care of? What would you do? And, we're introduced to all the different characters. Sasha Grey is in the film. But, we're introduced to all these people, and Iris ends up accepting the invitation from Shep to go to the dinner. And, from the very first part of the dinner, this I actually will go into a little bit. So, everyone arrives at the Lambrick Manor, and they have a butler whose name is Bevins. Awesome character. I really liked him. And Bevins, walks everyone in, and he's introducing them, and it's this huge formal thing. And it's just, again, I don't know why I like the movie so much, but it's just so well done in my opinion. But, she arrives, Iris arrives, she's the last person to arrive. And it's just from the start. So everyone sits down at the dining room table. So after Bevins introduces Iris to the rest of the participants in the dinner, While they're in the dining room, they start to bring out all the dinner, and they're served steak, foie gras, uh, asparagus, I think, and potatoes. Now that's how many times I've actually watched a movie that I know exactly what it is. But Iris is sitting there and she looks kind of perplexed and she says, "Well, I probably should have told you this before, but I'm a vegetarian." And Shep says, this is our first opportunity to play the game. So Shep says, I will give you $10,000 to eat the steak and the foie gras. And at first she's like, "No, I can't do it. I've been a vegetarian all my life, basically, and I can't jeopardize that, you know." And he's like, "But it's $10,000, and think about how much that will help you and your brother." So she says, "You know what? Forget it. I'll do it." She kind of gets the urging of a couple participants in the dinner, and she begins to eat the steak and the foie gras. And there's this moment that I will never forget. And it's not just because I like the film so much, but it's such a statement, I feel, from a societal perspective. Shep says, a lifelong devotion, or something to, I'm paraphrasing, a lifelong commitment to being a vegetarian wiped away by measly $10,000. That line, the way it was delivered, the look on Iris's face, it said so much about what people are willing to do to put themselves in a better position, whether that's financially or, like I said earlier, to help out a sick family member or whatever the case may be. But that was such a powerfully delivered line at that moment. Then they're also serving wine with the dinner, and one of the participants is a recovering alcoholic, and Shep offers him $10,000 to drink the wine, and the guy's like, "Nope, I'm not doing that. Nope, not at all." And then Shep says, "Well, we have the finest scotch that money can buy, and if you drink this entire decanter, we'll give you 50,000." And the guy is saying, "Well, I've been a recover. I've not drank in for many years, and I can't do that. And my life is great. I've turned my life around." And Shep says, "I'd hate to see your life before now. You're mired in a pit of debt and bad health." And there's another one of those lines where you're just like, "Oh my gosh, this is something else." And I'll just say, like, I won't go into all of the traps, so to speak, or the decisions to make, but the first one of the first things involves a car battery. Then you get into, let me see, I don't want to ruin it for anyone. Let's just say I I hit full panic mode at one point of the movie because there's a thing that has to happen, and it involves holding your breath. And I sat there a couple times and said, "Hey, I wonder how long I can hold my breath." And yeah, that didn't work out too well. uh, but it's for me, the overall film takes different people from different walks of life and it puts them in the same environment and it asks them, what would you do to make sure that you were set financially or in a better position in your life? And I could I could honestly see something like this happening in the real world, which is terrifying for me. And that's why I like watching these types of movies because it almost gives you a sense of reality where it's like this could this could probably be happening right now, probably in a big city or some who knows. But this is something that could actually happen. I wonder if people are doing this. The other part of this is it makes you ask yourself the question, what would I do if put in that same situation? Would I choose to do what they're doing? Would I just not accept the dinner invite? What would I do? And I will say the ending of the film, wow. Um, Again, not going to spoil it. This movie is on Netflix, I hope. Um, I'm actually going to check it out right now to see if it's still there. Because if it's not, I'm going to be absolutely pissed. But this is a movie where, you know, take take the time to watch it because I think it says so much about our society and the fact that it gives you this feeling that this could actually be happening and the way in which the movie is done. I mean, I have to give a lot of credit to David Guy Levy. He's one of the producers as well. And the cinematography. It's Stephen Capitano, I believe. I probably butchered that. But the shots, the angles, everything in the film. I mean, everything is just almost perfect. And for a movie that didn't get as much fanfare as I believe it deserved, I really think that this is it's one of the strongest movies that I've seen recently in kind of the horror psychological thriller genre. And I just think that this is a movie that if you give it a chance, it's an hour and 33 minutes long. Give it a chance. I really think you'd enjoy it. If you're a fan of horror movies, psychological thrillers, this is a movie I feel like you'd enjoy. The personal storylines, the relatability of the characters, I think really stands out for this film. And yeah, it is still on Netflix. I just checked that out, so that's why I was kind of all over the place right there. I wanted to make sure that it was there. But it is on Netflix, so if you have a Netflix account, if you have someone's password for a Netflix account, check it out this weekend because it really is a great film. And I really believe that if you're a fan of horror, you'll you'll really love and appreciate this film. Don't listen to the reviews on IMDb or wherever else. I think a lot of times we go into a movie by looking at these reviews and we're all, like, well, this person is an expert and they're a critic, so I have to listen. No, that's crap. This film is awesome. I don't care what anybody else says. This is a great film, and the you can knock some of the actors. I know I've seen some people online knocking Brittany Snow. I hope I didn't say Britney Spears earlier. Oh well. Brittany Snow I thought was fantastic in this. Sasha Grey, the role that she was given, oh my goodness, it makes you want to dislike her. And then you get to a moment in the film and you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I don't dislike her. This is why she's the way she is. But just a fantastic film. I guess I need to stop rambling at this point because I could go on and on and on about this movie. But I'll give it a rating. I gave Child's Play 4 out of 5 headstones. I'm going to give Would You Rather 4 out of 5 headstones. And the reason I say that is it's such a well done film. And again, the characters are relatable. And I really feel that you can put yourself into that movie and say, would I do some of these things? Would I take Shep's offer to leave at the beginning? Because he does give them that opportunity. He says, look, this is how we're playing the game. If you don't want to do it, leave now. And no one left. So this is a really solid movie, and I really enjoyed it. And if you watch it, hit me up on Twitter, Movies to Be Murdered By. Again, my Twitter handle is at @TO_murder. I did not come up with that. Twitter did. Thank you guys. But this is a film that, if you check it out, I really want to get your feedback. Hit me up on Twitter, send me a DM, or just comment under the episode posting, and just let me know. Let me know what you think, because I'm a little bit different in my taste. I like different movies from different areas of the genre, so I just really enjoy finding different films and just exploring those. And I hope that if you take the time to watch this movie, you'll appreciate it and enjoy it too. But yeah, I'm just really, really excited about sharing this with you, and hopefully you watch it. I really hope you watch it. So that's going to be it for today. I thank you for joining me on this journey of just diving into horror movies, great horror movies, and well known and not so well known. But I really do think that this film is one that is so underrated and so underappreciated that if given the chance, people will be mind blown. Maybe I'm giving it too much credit, but I don't think so. Let me know what you think. Again, this is Jeff Watson. Thank you so much for joining us, and make sure that you like us, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Movies to Be Murdered By, and interact. Let us know what you think of the movie. Let us know what you think of our episodes thus far, and Again, thank you for joining us. And until next time, enjoy some of those horror movies. Branch out, watch some different ones because you never know what gems you may find. Take care.